But I wanted to introduce this guy to you here. Reggie's sitting up front. I met Reggie by email a couple years ago when he found us on the internet and thought that our church was cool. And Josh, if you wouldn't mind starting the keynote presentation back there. We got to hit play on the thing. Yeah. And there's a picture I wanted to show you up here. So once you get that up, go ahead and advance it past the logo screen. It's coming. There it is. And then go one more. This is Mr. Reggie Alderman. He has a Facebook account. You can annoy him. It's really cool to do that with people, that you barely know in real life. You can annoy them on Facebook. And then click it one more time. This is the zoomed in, up close and personal. There he is. Doesn't he look studious? Geez. Don't you love that picture?
No.
You put it on your Facebook profile. I just used it.
That's the only one I had.
Reggie has a black belt in Taekwondo, multiple black belts in Taekwondo. I'm not going to mess with him anymore. I'm just going to introduce him. So would you all give a nice, warm welcome to Mr. Reggie Alderman, Pastor. Thank you.
Thank you, man. That's good. Where's the clicky thing?
He's got it in the back.
Oh.
He'll take care of it for you.
Oh, will he?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm nearsighted. I'm old. What else did you say? Oh, dear. All of which is true. We're continuing this series about they should have known. They should have known about Christ and the things that Pastor Jeff has already been sharing with us about. See, they should have known that the cradle was overshadowed by a cross, much of which has been lost. Most people don't know that or even understand that. And at best, with many wanting to get rid of Christmas altogether, with the others which a majority of the people in our country, who understand, at least in part, what the Christmas story is all about, many have never understood. Because if we stop in Bethlehem, then we have a baby. And I'm speaking as if I were a skeptic. And also trying to challenge the Christian thought of what this all really means. And the fact is, if we simply stop with the babe in Bethlehem, we have just a baby. A significant baby, no doubt. To us who believe and are of faith, absolutely the Christ child, absolutely. But if we go farther, and even we get to the place where this babe is now in the midst of his Galilean ministry, many people stop there. After all, even across the board and across the various denominations and the world religions, even those who are absolutely anti-Christian will tell you and will affirm, because they can't deny the fact, that the Jesus of the Bible actually lived. And they even perhaps will acknowledge the fact that, yeah, he was born, and the fact that he was a great teacher. In fact, many will affirm the fact that he was a great philosopher. Whether it be Muslim or some other Eastern sort of belief or thought, or no belief whatsoever, people acknowledge the fact, and even extra biblical literature points into the historic fact that Jesus existed. But many stop at the babe in Bethlehem, and some stop at his Galilean ministry and put him on the shelf with Gandhi and Muhammad and other great teachers and philosophers and Confucius and all the others. Because if we can leave Jesus on the same platform as a good philosopher and a good teacher, then all we have is a good teacher and a good philosopher, no different than anyone else. And at the same time, even those who would take Christ to the cross, many leave Jesus on the cross. So if we stop in Bethlehem, we have a babe. If we stop in the Galilean ministry, we have a great philosopher and teacher. If we stop at the cross, we've got a dead teacher. But if we look into an empty tomb, we have a risen Lord. We have a prophesied Messiah whose name is Jesus the Christ. And it's at that point that many cannot get. And it is exactly, and while we're talking today, it is actually, it is necessary that we get to this point in the completed work of God through Christ. Because if we just stop in Bethlehem, absolutely, the story isn't finished. If we stop in Galilee, another philosopher, stop at the cross, just another great person who gave his life. But the significance of the Christian message is that we not only serve someone who was born and lived and said he was the Son of God, died the Son of God, but we believe that he was also risen and raised from the dead. Historically, the antiquitous documents that we have, again, we cannot deny. No one, agnostic, atheist, or even denominationally watered down to believe something really out of nothing, regardless of your religious or spiritual persuasion, historically, you cannot deny Christ. Historically. Archaeologically speaking, all the evidence confirms him. And philosophically, the argument demands an answer about him. You see, a number of years ago, hundreds of years ago, Pastor Jeff has already mentioned this passage in the book of Isaiah 53. This is not in your outline, so just listen along. In Isaiah 53, verses 3 to 6. He was despised and forsaken of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And like one from whom men hid their face, he was despised, and we did not esteem him. Surely our griefs he himself bore, and our sorrows he carried. Yet we ourselves esteemed him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. But he was pierced through for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The chastening of our well-being fell upon him. And by his scourging we are healed. Because all of us, like sheep have gone astray. Each of us has turned his own way. But the Lord has caused the iniquity of us all to fall on him. See, therefore,